Trey Murphy is out with an injury. Now, what injury and what does this mean for the Pelicans? We don't know, but we're going to find out right now in the Pelicans Scoop. Cue the music.
The buzzer got it now!
This is the Pelicans Scoop with Jordan Kitchens, breaking down everything under the sun about your New Orleans Pelicans. Smash that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to stay on top of your Pels content. Now, running point, here's Jordan.
What is good, everybody out there? It is your host with the most, Jordan Kitchens, and I am back again with another episode of the Pelicans Scoop. Stop what you're doing. You already heard my music, but like, comment, subscribe, smash that notification bell. The season is here. We are getting into it. You're getting Pelicans content every day. All right? You're getting it every day. All right? Yeah, I'm talking to you right there. You're getting it every day. So y'all lock in with me, and I'm going to lock in with y'all. So today, I've been dreading to do this video. I've been dreading. It's not I've been dreading it. It's just, the season started, and it kind of got pushed to the back burner. But as everybody doesn't know. That's why you're watching this video. And I hate to talk about it because this sucks. This truthfully does suck. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, here you go. Trey Murphy III, he injured himself during training camp, probably around last week. He has a right strained hamstring strain, kind of similar to, Zion's injury a couple years back. Well, I can say a couple years back because he kind of just did it again in April, or was that May? That was April, into April. May. Yeah, so Zion had a strained hamstring, and Trey Murphy, unfortunately, has a strained hamstring. And the reason why this sucks, everybody, one, because Trey Murphy is such a hard worker. We know his work ethic. It's more about, damn, man. It's like for the Pelicans season to start, they need to have an injury. It has to be in the contract or something to keep the team in New Orleans that moving forward, in the start of every season, somebody has to go down with an injury. Now, last year, around this same exact time, well, probably a little bit earlier, in September, Trey Murphy, he tore his meniscus, right? 2023, he tore his meniscus, same time, beginning of the season, ramping up for training camp, except this time he was getting ready for training camp. Instead, now he pulled his hamstring, strained it, pulled, kind of the same thing, in training camp this year. Now, what does this mean, Jordan? Jordan, you're telling us this, but what exactly does this mean for the team? And what does it mean for Trey? All right, basketball aside, let's put the human perspective in play. A lot of people don't like to do that, but these are still humans at the end of the day. For somebody that works as hard as Trey does and puts as much time and dedication into his craft, this was devastating to me. As you can tell, I really didn't want to report it. But my job is to report on what's going on with the Pelicans. So I'm moving past that. I'm working with it. Because it's just devastating. Devastating. Right? It's only a hamstring strain. It's not like I'm saying he tore his Achilles or something. Heard me? Knocked on wood. But it's just devastating because can we just have a normal... It's devastating because can the Pelicans just have a normal season for once? And I know the season ain't even start, Jordan. What are you talking about? I'm talking about this. The point of the matter is, when does the injuries stop? I get it. It's basketball, it's professional sport. Injuries are going to happen. It's not the NFL where you really need to account for that, but it's still a professional sport, contact sport. There's going to be injuries. It's unavoidable unless you're the Boston Celtics. Outside of Porzingis, but I'm not gonna get in. I'm keeping my cool, everybody, because the point of this video is not to sit here and rant about the Pelicans and injuries, but what is next, right? Let's break that down. What is next, right? So with the hamstring strain with Trey, they're talking about a 3-week, 4-week time frame for him to, I guess you can say, because I don't assume him to be 100%. When he's able to step back on the court, regardless of the fact, soft tissue injuries like this, it's gonna linger. That's why it hurts when Zion has this type of things over the past years. As y'all can see, they keep 2 weeks he'll be reevaluated. 2 weeks he'll be reevaluated. 2 weeks he'll be reevaluated, and it never happens. It never comes, right? They basically said he'll be 2 weeks from 2 weeks from 2 weeks from 2 weeks from 2 weeks, right? When you have soft tissue injuries, it's Zion's a little bit more different because he But Trey is on the same time frame with it. Well, same playing field with it, because Zion, it's all about explosion and jumping and using your legs and all that. That's his game. Trey's also above the rim type of player. Yes, he's a little bit more known for shooting, but Trey's above the rim, right? He's above the rim, but he's not just solely as a finisher. He's not just get to the rack and he's just trying to dunk on you, but he will dunk on you. Probably should have been working on it because Chet Holmgren stuffed him way too many times. Every time he seen OKC, it felt like Chet Holmgren was meeting him at the rim. That's got to stop. Knowing that this type of injury is just going to linger no matter what, yes, it can get better. It also can get worse. You never know, bro. Soft tissue injuries are such a tricky and the slopiest of hills. The slopiest of slopes you've ever seen is dealing with soft tissue injuries. It's not as black and white as a tear or like a break, because this is all it's physical, but it's a lot of mental going on too. It's all about your mind too. That's why I kind of felt about Zion when he was on that, that 2 week, you get it, the 2 weeks, right? I really think at a certain point he was quote unquote, physically good to go. But mentally wise, he just couldn't trust his body enough. It's a hurdle you have to get over. Everybody that has had like a knee procedure or a leg or anything like that, Achilles or whatnot, they always talk about, the mental hurdle of getting over trusting their body again. So Trey has shown that he's able to do that because he, tore his meniscus last year, and basically the same type of time frame he's going to be out. He's going to come back. He's going to come back hopefully a lot sooner than a meniscus tear, because he tore his meniscus in September last year and he didn't come back till January 1st against the San Antonio Spurs, and I'm pretty sure that was in the in-season tournament. And even there, Trey still didn't feel, well, I ain't gonna say he didn't feel because I'm not Trey Murphy, but watching the games, Trey didn't really play like himself and really get back to himself I'm gonna say about early March, probably. I would say early March. From March to April, that's when I felt like Trey Murphy finally was feeling like himself again. But leading up into that, he was having some of his worst games. Well, not gonna say worst games, but very mid performances. Especially for somebody that the Pelicans are counting on so much. You need him immediately in the lineup. Now, the burning question that I ain't gonna say I'm avoiding, but what does this mean? What is next? Now, there's a couple guys that I have for y'all that I think will take up. I guess you could say that you'll have to find a way to split his minutes evenly. Maybe certain games, certain guys will get this amount of burn compared to this guy because they like this matchup with him and whatever. Regardless of the fact, the three guys, really 2.5, that I have that I know for a fact will, I guess you can say, benefit from Trey being out of the lineup would be, number one would be Jordan Hawkins. Now, Monday in the preseason opener against Orlando Magic, he had 18 points, 1 board, 2 assists, 2 blocks. Something we like to see, that he's willing to play. In my mind, in my opinion, he's always been willing to play defense. Maybe Willie Green looks at it a little differently. A lot of people look at it a little differently. But just because you're not a good defender doesn't mean you're not willing to at least sit in that chair and get in front of somebody. I never felt like Jordan Hawkins was a cone. But he showed a lot of flashes in the preseason game that, he's definitely heard the noise and taken that into consideration and improved his game. But I think Jordan Hawkins will be the immediate benefactor of Trey being out, because that's just more minutes for him. He's already going to have a larger role this year, after what Willie Green said, that, he has the green light, okay? We trust him. We believe in him. It's no questions behind him. He has the green light. He, like I said, he had 18 points, but the main point about that was that he shot 5 for 8 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3, and he 6 for 7 from the free throw line. 6 of 7 from the free throw line, so 7 free throw attempts lets me know he's getting to the rack. Like he's physically going to the lane. Now, Hawkins, he doesn't play the same position as Trey. It's actually crazy that you're benefiting from having BI still on the team. That Trey's out. Now it's like, yeah. Well, thank God we didn't trade Brandon Ingram for a big man. It's like, okay, whatever, dude. So, yes, Brandon Ingram, he will be, but really, Jordan Hawkins, and another guy that I think will benefit in the place of Trey would be Javonte Green. The Pelicans just signed Javonte from the Bulls over the offseason, so this is his first year in New Orleans. I think that he will be getting more of that Najee role, but it's gonna look differently because I also believe that Hawkins is what's gonna eat Najee minutes, and then Javonte's gonna fill in where he gets in. He's one of those he's a plug and play type of guy. He's a 3-and-D defensively. He's a veteran, so he knows his role. He understands. He's not trying to come in here and step on anybody's toes. He's just trying to come in here and win basketball games. 100%, I believe that. So those are the guys that I really think, what's next for the team. I think those two guys will immediately see boost in their minutes. And the last guy that I speaking about was, hey man, potentially Matt Ryan, right? The fan favorite. All the fans love Matt Ryan. Everybody loves Matt Ryan. He's a sharpshooter. I mean, shout out his Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt just beat Alabama. He was at the game with Herb. I think Jose was there. JRE. Maybe one more person that I'm just missing, blanking on. Unfortunately, sorry about that. But Matt Ryan, he could potentially, especially because it's early in the season, coaches really don't restrict, the lineups. They don't really. Willie's a little different because Willie he's willing to come out and play people, but coaches really don't, really put that leash on their lineups until about midway to probably around Christmas time. Christmas time going into the new year, that's when coaches start to not shrink the lineups like you're going to the playoffs, but certain guys might not be playing as much unless, injuries and whatnot. But typically, the lineup shrinks as the season goes on. So Matt Ryan early in the season, we probably will see a lot of Matt Ryan burn. I believe the Pelicans will play him. I mean, he's a shooter. Trey Murphy's a shooter. He doesn't really offer much outside of just shooting, but the Pelicans are not looking for much outside of shooting from Matt Ryan. So it doesn't matter that that's all he offers because that's all the team needs him to do is shoot the ball. So potentially you might see a Matt Ryan. I think Hawkins' minutes will go up. I think Javonte Green, he'll be a lot in the mix dealing until Trey comes back. I guess I can give y'all a guesstimate when I think Trey. So they said 3 weeks. In my mind, that will I would say around Thanksgiving. I think Trey will probably come back around Thanksgiving or a little bit before that. I think they're going to take I think the Pelicans will take it nice and slow with him. Like, they're not just going to, players always want to play, especially a guy like Trey that's just nipping at the bit, who just loves basketball. They're not just going to force him out there, right? They're going to take it slow, especially if you notice the Pelicans over the years, that's what they do. They don't really just, it might be to a fault that they take things so slowly, but they'll take it nice and slow with him. I think he'll come back around November. All in all, man, it sucks because Trey he's been due, right? His contract's coming up. This was his season. This was a season for him to, not gonna say make a name for himself because he has a name, but he's just not known to the casual fan. It's not there yet. If you're really watching basketball and really love the game of basketball, then you would know about Trey Murphy. Because, this is the New Orleans Pelicans, right? We down here love the Pelicans. I can't say the same as much as people outside of the Gulf Coast area in Louisiana, right? And apparently Lafayette, because not Bally Sports. They're not broadcasting the games of Lafayette, but that's a conversation for another day. Thank you guys for sticking in for another edition of the Pelicans Scoop. Like I said, I'm your host, Jordan Kitchens. Thank you for sticking by me, right? Like I said, y'all comment below. Who do y'all feel like is going to take that next jump on the team that Trey's out? Who do y'all feel like? Do y'all feel like that this is going to be, that is going to linger all season and that it will affect Trey, basically the whole year? Or if not, like if y'all think it's no big deal, let me know. Like I said, y'all comment. You locked in with me, I'm locked in with you. You rocking with me, I'm rocking with you. So, I appreciate you guys for sticking in. More Pelicans content every damn day. Every damn day. So, y'all, stay tuned, man. It's your boy, Jordan Kitchens, and I'm signing out. Peace.